When I was in Ghor earlier this year, I had the opportunity to spend some time with colleagues who had lost their homes in the floods earlier this year. And I was really struck by the devastation caused, and also by their courage in being able still to go to work and participate in World Vision's mission, even though they themselves were living in tents on top of the rubble of their homes. So when I got back to the UK, I was really thinking, how can I do something to support colleagues? So the plan was to do 24 hours of running, and that is basically set off 5:30 in the evening, run through the night. I'm allowed to pause to eat, otherwise, I could get very ill. Pause to eat and drink and stretch and so on. But the intention was to more or less just keep running until 5:30 the following evening. We've just passed 3/4 of the way through 24 hours. It's just gone 11:30 in the UK. And as I previously mentioned, we are 100 miles as a target left us ages ago. So now we're largely not thinking about distance at all, but just finding the best way of plodding on until 5:30 this evening without grinding to a complete halt. So wish us luck, appreciate your prayers, and I'll update you from the finish line. So that's what I did. I did it in my hometown of Carlisle. I used my own house as the checkpoint where I would come back, have some food, even have a quick 10-minute nap, and then go back out and carry on. It didn't go exactly as intended. The first 50 miles, so the first 80 kilometers went really well. Managed to get through that in, I think it was under 11 hours. So felt like I was ahead of schedule. But then as the sun rose the next day, I was suddenly quite afflicted by hip pain and a calf strain and so on. So the second half of the run in time was more of a kind of hobble than a run. In the UK, there's this kind of tradition of if you do something like this, it raises awareness, it raises attention, and then people say, I will sponsor £20 or whatever amount it may be. And I know it's a little bit different in Afghanistan. There's not this kind of culture of doing sponsored runs or sponsored challenges. But if people feel moved to support their colleagues, obviously there were 29 colleagues and their families who were affected by various degrees of damage to their home and loss of property.